Indiana Jones is a theme song, yeah, that I'm singing. Are we live yet? I can't tell. The world may never know. I don't know. Maybe? Possibly. No? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not seeing it on the YouTube, and if it's not, that means that the internet's not doing what it's supposed to do. Oh no. Oh no. Well, let's see. Let's see. If you are currently in the stream, I can't see you, so apologize. Please hold. But I might just be talking to myself, which is seeming more and more like the actual possibility. Hold on. Let's see. Let's do some stuff. Let's do some things. Live streaming. Let's see. Oh, I am live, apparently. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Wow, I found the chat. Wow, it's just not popping up. Okay. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. What's up? Live Q&A, baby. Let's do it. Let us do it. I am running on 3 hours of sleep right now in the past 40 hours. So Dad's a little tired, but I promised a Q&A today. And so a Q&A you gonna get. Ah, there it goes, showing up on the channel. There we go. Couldn't find it before. So let's do a proper intro, shall we? Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome unto the day after the big win. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And you know, what I really like is in the victory, you can just hear the silence and the beauty of nature and the silence of the Bears fans and all the Packers haters out there, because now the Packers are the best team in the NFL, and statistically that is a fact. And what's this? Caden coming in with $1.99 saying honest score prediction for next week's game. I feel like we're going to see another low-scoring game. I really do. I would say it's going to be something like 17-10. I think the Packers can pull it off. But, you know, I'll have a better gauge to see what the Vikings do this week and see how their offense looks, because they're another questionable offense. Can they get it rolling? They could be a very high-powered offense with Dalvin Cook and obviously Stephon Diggs and Thielen. And they finally got rid of Treadwell. But can Kirk Cousins hold him up? We'll see. Whoa. All right, we got donations up the wazoo already. Nick, the football guy with a $20 donation, says, Skull. Oh, wait, never mind. This is a Packers channel. Great fight by the Packers last night. Just makes me more hyped for the Week 2 game. Do you think the Packers defense will keep it up? What do you think about the AB drama? Well, thank you for the donation. Couple of questions in there. One, I too am very excited for the Vikings game. At Lambeau, obviously I think the Packers have a little bit of, at least I would hope, some advantage there. But at the same time, the Vikings have potential to be, I think people are sleeping on the Vikings this year. I think they obviously faltered last year, but another year with Kirk Cousins, with Garrett Bradbury now, not to steal from Jade's line, but I think they really could make a run for it. If that defense is able to stay within the top 5, they're going to be a really dangerous team within the NFC North. So I think it's going to be a hell of a game next week. And if the Packers defense can keep it up, obviously it's not all the Packers defense because the Bears offense just didn't look well last night. But at the same time, I have to think that, this is week 1. I can't imagine what they're going to look like week 8, week 9. I still think they're going to be finding their footing next week, but I still think they're going to be pretty damn good. That team of the Smiths is just going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait to watch it. Bobby Boucher, by the way. And then your second question about the AB drama. Let's just say that if the Green Bay Packers signed AB and all this crap was going on, I would be losing my mind. Like, completely losing it. And I think Raiders fans, if you're a Raiders fan, I would be still pissed from trading away Khalil Mack and not paying that man a ton of money to make your team much better than it was last year. So I think that they're kind of reaping what they're sowing a little bit. They got rid of a once-in-a-generational player, then paid a phenomenal wide receiver, and hoped that he'd be, continue that once-in-a-generational play time or play style. But right now, they've just gotten complaints about his helmet and foot skin issues. So, again, I think it's a joke. I mean, I saw that he was potentially getting suspended, but then I saw another article that he's probably going to play on Monday. So, I mean, you could go with the line of like all press, even if it's bad press, it's good press. But if I'm a Raiders fan, I'm pissed off. Techno Plays, thank you to $1.99 donation. Do you think the Packers have a chance of a Super Bowl? It's week 1. We just won one game. Let's look at winning the division first before we look to the Super Bowl. If that defense could get even better, and the offense needs to clean it up too. The offense looked nasty. Obviously, playing against a very good Bears defense, but at the same time, Rodgers didn't look phenomenal except for that one drive. He was not accurate. He held onto the ball too long. It's just week 1. So if we're saying that the defense is, oh my God, amazing, we also have to address the offense didn't look so great. Hopefully they meet somewhere in the middle and they make a really well-balanced team. So not yet. We shall see. By the way, so let me see right here. So because of a good old-fashioned Patreon, so we got a comment from Ray that he wanted me to read, and I completely agree with this. So he says, what Rodgers and Jimmy Graham did last night is why I said he could still be a threat even though he's older now. He's a big guy and is a red zone threat. He may not be an across the middle for 20-plus tight end anymore, but in the red zone, he's a big, tall threat. Throw him a jump ball, and there's a good catch. He's coming down with it. And he's 100% correct. And so what I like to see is that, obviously, week 1, Jimmy Graham, a whole lot of Jimmy Graham, and he was targeted 6 times, so he was the second most targeted receiver, if you want to call him that, last night. And I think Jimmy definitely has the opportunity to have a much better year than he did last year. But again, what makes him great is like there was a play that Devontae also, it was amazing. They were triple covering Devontae. And at the end, like he was literally counting the guys there. So if you have guys triple covering Devontae, who's covering Jimmy Graham? Who's covering MVS? Who's covering Geronimo Allison? The Packers offense has a lot of weapons, and obviously they were not fully on display last night, but there was flashes. Obviously there's Devontae, but there was flashes of MVS, there was flashes of Jimmy Graham. Watch out, if this offense is able to click and we get the running game going, we're going to be a scary team. We're going to be a real scary team, and I cannot wait. Nicky Weenus, hell yeah, is Tariq Cohen still a running back or a wide receiver? He's a guy who fumbles the ball. But no, in honesty, I wouldn't be surprised if they, go to him a little bit more in the passing game. But I have to say, as a guy watching the game last night, they should have continued with David Montgomery. That guy looked explosive, and he's going to be the number 1 back by the end of the season. There's no doubt in my mind. What that means for Tariq Cohen, maybe he's just a special teams guy, or I'm sure he's still going to have a spot on that offense, and they may just make him the number 2 back. That's where I see this eventually going, though. Zenith Gaming with I'm skipping one. Roman with $2 donation said, thoughts about the Falcons this season, best offense? Listen, the Falcons are one of those teams. Obviously, they got rid of Sarkisian. They got rid of the problem with the offensive coordinator. But, they still didn't meet their full potential last season. I keep thinking the Falcons are going to be great, and they should. They have an amazing team with a ton of talent. I think, obviously, you have guys like Freeman, who when he's healthy, it's great, but there's the big if when he's healthy. So I think that they should, but again, they're also in a very competitive division with the Panthers and the Saints and the Buccaneers, but no one cares about them. And so, it's going to be tough for them to even get ahead because they have 4 really challenging games just within their own division. But the Falcons definitely, have a wild card shot, I believe. Zenith Gamer with $2 donations, did you honestly see both offenses being that bad? As bad as they were? No. Not as bad as they were, but it was mostly sloppy. Obviously, there was problems moving the ball, but, Luke, I love you. Basically, what I kept seeing is that every time we had, some progression, there was another holding penalty, and another one, and another one, and another one. And we saw this in the preseason. In the preseason, one of the main notes that we said was, hey, this is a problem. You need to clean this up. But I'm not going to go crazy. And even when you start talking about, the post-game last night, Aaron Rodgers admitted that he needed to get better. Matt LaFleur said he needed to get better for Aaron Rodgers. If you haven't seen it, head over to my Twitter at Tom Grossi Comedy, because there was a great video shared from the Packers locker room of all of them celebrating, and Rodgers, gives the game ball to LaFleur because it's his first win as a head coach. But no, Aaron Rodgers hates Matt LaFleur. So again, I didn't think they were going to be that sloppy, but week 1, they got plenty of times to clean it up. For both of those teams, I still see the Bears being a contender this year. Zeno saying what $2 donation said, do the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs at all? Do they sign Zeke? I think they have to. I think they have to sign Zeke. If they sign Zeke, there's a very good chance, I think, of them making the playoffs. But, I think it depends on how Dak Prescott plays. I think there's a lot of ifs. I feel like I'll never forget that divisional game where the Packers just squeaked out a Mason Crosby field goal at the last second win. And I was like, crap, man, the Cowboys are going to be really good for years to come. And it's not that they've been bad. It's just that they never, that was their moment. They had an amazing offensive line. They had Zeke, they had Dak, who were both in their rookie seasons, and so teams couldn't study them. They were finding a ton of success. And I feel like, not that the window is closing, because they have 2 very young players at 2 of the most important positions, but we'll see what kind of weapons that they have. And obviously they got Randall Cobb. We'll see how much they use him. They lost Cole Beasley. I'm assuming Cobb is just going to wind up taking that. But they also have Michael Gallup, who I think is a sleeper to have a potentially good season. So we'll see what that offense looks like, and then if the defense can continue to be, pretty decent. So, they signed Zeke? Oh, God, when the hell did they sign Zeke? When the hell was this? I was at work all day. What happened? Did they really? When the hell did that happen? What is this? So is how much I know. $90 million. Did they really? Holy crap, man. Wow. $90 million. Okay, now I know that they signed Zeke. How the hell did I miss that? Nope, that's what happens when you live in the Packers. $90 million. Highest paid running back in the NFL through 2026 will be more than $100 million. Wow. Okay, yeah, they have potential. Thanks, guys. I did not even see that. Didn't even see it. Oh, God. Dementia's going to be rough. Nick the Football Go to $5 donation says Vikings beat the Falcons 14-9 back in 2017. Expect something similar this Sunday. Also, I'm happy with any outcome that's not a tie. Week 2, Minnesota versus Green Bay. Yes, please God, no ties. No ties. But you could see something similar. I don't see the Falcons scoring that few points. I feel like the Falcons are going to put up more points because they have so many weapons. This will be a pretty decent test for the Vikings defense. I feel like this game could go completely either way. So obviously the Vikings have a better defense, and I would say the Falcons have a better offense. So, if the Vikings offense is able to fire on majority of their cylinders, I think they will win, because the Falcons defense is nowhere near what the Vikings defense is. So, oh yeah. Sorry, I totally did not even see that. 6, yeah, that's a lot. How do you feel being famous even in Brazil? Put out those fires. Who do I think is going to win the NFC North? I think it's a complete toss-up between the Vikings, the Packers, and the Bears. But the Packers made a big... I'm telling you, this game could potentially come back and haunt the Bears. It really, really can. A lot of mistakes, bad play calling, and obviously just sloppiness. But, when it comes down to standings later in the year, having a win against the Bears, that's big. That's big. So we'll see if it works out. But... anyone remember Matt Flynn? Hell yeah, Matt Flynn for the win. Absolutely. Do the Lions have a chance, do you think? I'm kind of done predicting the Lions. I mean, seriously, they're another team that has talent, a second year under Matt Patricia, but I don't know. I feel like, so I've been looking at the Lions a little bit more recently, because I obviously have a death wish and hate happiness, but I feel like what Matt Patricia is doing, and this is obviously just over the sample size of just 1 year, they're trying to turn Matthew Stafford into that quick release Brady-esque, get the ball out kind of QB. He's not that kind of QB. Matthew Stafford has one of the best arms in the NFL. The guy could just bomb it and let it go. One of the problems is obviously his offensive line hates him and he gets abused just about every single season. But I disagree. Not every player can be Tom Brady. Tom Brady was literally born into the fires of hell and molded and shaped by it for him to be the quarterback that he is. There's no Brady without Belichick, and there's no Belichick without Brady. I truly believe that. And so because of that, I think that, at least the successes that they've had, the amount of, because of that, you know, you have these other teams, and you see this all the time with like Patriots personnel and coaching staff going to different teams and trying to turn that quarterback into Tom Brady or that kind of system and that kind of style. I don't think that's necessarily a key to success. Matthew Stafford's success is when he can just let the ball rip. Get the guy an offensive line, get the guy a running game, which they might have this year, you know, and then we start talking. I think TJ Hawkinson is a perfect pick for them. He's a blocker. He's a pass threat. He's what they wanted Eric Ebron to be. Let's see if they use him correctly. That's what it's going to come down to. Not Potato $2 says, who's winning the fantasy league? You looking at him right here. That's it. That is it. Zeno saying, with a $5 donation saying, I see both the Cowboys and Packers both make the playoffs. Also, do you think the Cowboys were robbed in that divisional round against the Packers? Do I think they were robbed? Why? Because of the Jared Cook catch? Or like a controversy? Oh, are you talking about like 2014 with the no catch for Dez? Let's just say I'm happy about the outcome. But, I mean, I think today in 2019, if that exact game happens, it's a catch. But back then, they didn't count it, and so we have to look at it from the perspective of what was going on at the time, unfortunately. Listen, we had the Fail Mary, so. Power Packers 90 with $2 donation says, great win. Have you had a little bit of the bubbly? Unfortunately, no. I literally, I finally went to bed at 1:30 last night after uploading the breakdown video, woke up at 4:30 to go to work, commuted 90 minutes, and then came home, started working again, and now we're doing Q&A. So no bubbly. But I'm telling you, I cannot wait to go to sleep. That is going to be the highlight of my life right now. Yeah, the Dez catch. Yeah, so I think that at the time, made the right call based on the current rules, but today, yeah, they would have been robbed. Absolutely. So, will our defense perform the way they did all season if healthy? They could. They could. It's about staying healthy, because if they stay healthy, not only, you know, is that important, but they're able to grow together as a defense under Pettin, and I think that's Pettin was. I loved his play calling last night. There were very few times that Trubisky was comfortable back there, and you could see it even when he was rolling out. Like he looked shook, and I was very happy about it. Very happy. Favorite Hail Mary? Oh no. So like Arizona, Lions, Giants. I was there for the Giants one, and that was pretty great. I think I have to go with the Lions one. The Lions one was just, I was jumping. This is before. You know, I was just doing the live streams. I couldn't imagine what that would have been. But, like, I seriously woke up Jade in the dead of night from just screaming one floor down. Just literally, I was never, like, that was one of the highest moments of me as a Packers fan. Not a Potato, Rookie of the Year pick. Obviously, super duper early. Rashawn Gary had a pretty good game last night. Causing lots of problems, but I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Guys that kind of stick out. I mean, obviously you have guys like Kyler Murray, but his offensive line, I think, is going to kill him. Brian Burns looked really good in the preseason. You know, if he's able to keep that going, then potentially him. Yeah, that'd be like, I feel like Brian Burns right now would be like my pick, but that's purely just off the preseason, which doesn't mean a whole lot. But Nikki, again, with $2 donation, said MVS over Allison this year. I know Allison didn't get a lot of looks last night, and MVS did. So, you know, if we're just judging off the one game sample size, it looks like MVS is in for a bigger year, but don't go to sleep on Allison. Don't give up on Allison just yet. I think there's potential that he still has a pretty awesome year, because remember, he has that connection with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't think Allison is going away, but I think who has a bigger upside, while I like Allison more as like that steady, consistent guy, I think MVS has a little bit of a bigger upside. So we'll see. Raven Green, yep, he had a good game too. Do you think you overpaid for Zadarius Smith coming from a Ravens fan? No, because I think, and this was said when we signed him, we're paying for his potential. And if last night is any indication of what his potential is going to be, obviously we paid a lot of money for him, but he seems to be damn worth it so far. And Preston Smith looked damn good too, and I love that they're a duo together. But I think it really filled a need to the point where now we have depth at pass rusher, which is something that hasn't happened in I don't know how long. And so I'm okay with the amount of money we paid for it if he continues on this trajectory, because I think he's going to be a really great football player for our organization, and we needed him. So we definitely needed someone of his acumen and talent. Zeno saying with Child Nation, where do you rank Tony Romo all-time Cowboys QB? Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, obviously you're going back like a while. Like you have Roger Staubach, you got Troy Aikman, you got Tony Romo. He's definitely top 5. Definitely top 5. I know Tony Romo gets a lot of crap, but that guy should have, we talk about Aaron Rodgers being robbed of just having 1 ring so far. Tony Romo was a pretty damn good football player, even though I will never forget him botching the hold on the extra point, because that was funny. Damn good announcer. I like him better than Troy Aikman as an announcer. So top 1 for that. Uncultured Barbarian, what's going on, bud? $2 Nation, love that defense. The Smith bros are studs. Yep. And I don't know if you saw this, but Zadarius Smith waited for Preston Smith to get dressed so they could both address the reporters together as like a tag team. I absolutely love that. I love everything about it. So again, I'm super duper happy so far. Again, it's just week 1, but they're making a difference. So again, you have these free agents that you can go out and sign, and they could fall completely flat. Martellus Bennett, right? They can. They fall completely flat. Jared Cook, even though he was injured most of the year, had that 1 great catch. But that's the risk you take on free agents. Right now in week 1, it is paid off. Will it pay off the rest of the year? Will it pay off a couple years down the line? That's the risk you take. I mean, you literally can sell the farm. You can sell the ranch to get free agents, but it's not necessarily going to be good for your team down the line. I mean, look at the Broncos. They paid a crap ton of money to, just be like, hey, we need to go win a Super Bowl like within the next 2 years. They got one, but now they have Joe Flacco as their quarterback. So again, like, that's like the existential question. Are you willing to sacrifice the short-term future of your team for a potential at immediate success? And remember, it's just potential. So, who do you think is the GOAT? Montana? He's damn close. Bart Starr's pretty damn great too. But Montana's up there. Yeah, he might be it. I was at the Packers game last night going 19-0. Damn straight. LaFleur 1-0 in his first game at his HC. Holmgren 0-1 in his first game as HC. Sign of things to come? Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Absolutely. Oh, God. Let's do it. Can I drink Jameson with you? Yes, and we'll cry. Absolutely. Keys to win against the Vikings? Look at me right now. Mike Pettin. If there's one thing you do against the Vikings week 2, stop Stephon Diggs. I am so tired of Stephon Diggs decimating our defense every freaking fracking year. Every time, oh, we should cover Stephon Diggs. Oh, Stephon Diggs caught it for another 15 yards. Oh, they threw it to him again. Oh, they threw it to him again. I can't take it anymore. Someone cover the damn guy. If we are able to have the kind of defensive play we did against the Bears, against the Vikings, that's what I think our defense needs to show up again, but our offense needs to be able to keep up. We're facing 2 hard defenses in a row. It's not going to be a walk in the park next week either, but we'll see. We will see. No, I'm not a mean Thielen. Thielen's phenomenal, but Stephon Diggs usually tears us up. That's like Stephon Diggs is like, ooh, it's Packers Day. Ugh, I hate it. Ben's Fly, how you doing, bud? Yeah, we'll see if Cook is able to have a bounce back year. Last year obviously didn't go so well. Do you see Matt Nagy getting fired if the Bears miss the playoffs? If they fire him, they're idiots. That's it. Matt Nagy is a good coach. You got to give him more than... He literally turned that football team around from being complete and total garbage to being playoff contenders and NFC North winners. Like, no, you don't fire him after 1 year. And that's dumb. As a Bears fan, what do you think you need to fix? I think, again, it's going to come with time in that the defense is going to get even better, or at least get some more consistency. And the offense needs to clean it up. I mean, listen, the ultimate question is going to be about the future of your team. Is Mitch Trubisky your guy? You know, you have Trubisky. Some of the throws that Trubisky's made last night was amazing. They were great, and you're like, wow, you can see why they drafted him. I mean, they had to trade up to get Trubisky, which was dumb. But, you know, there's a lot of bad throws. Like, there was times where he literally was just like, and just like threw it and was like, let's hope for the best. So, you know, I would say it's really going to come down to what Trubisky's going to do to see what the future of your team is going to look like. Should the Packers go after a QB in next year's draft? No. Beer fridge will be stocked for week 2. We will see. Now Andrew Luck is retired and the Colts are most likely not going to win the division. What do you see winning the AFC South? Probably the Texans have the best shot. Unless the Jaguars have a comeback here, but I see the Texans. Uncultured Barbarian, $5 donation. I think the key next week is covering Diggs. Yep, and putting pressure on Kirk Cousins. He's not really mobile. Yeah, absolutely. And again, the fact that we were bringing the amount of pressure we were, which we never do, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, obviously, the Vikings have added some guys on their offensive line, but I think as a whole, their offensive line is not the best. So I think absolutely we get after Kirk Cousins. It's good, but we also have to stop the run with Dalvin Cook. We did a pretty good job last night, though. Caution's going good. It's going well. Top 5 defense, I wouldn't go that far yet, but I told you in the beginning, top 15, definitely. Will we beat the Lions for the first time in 2 years? Kill me. Yes. Yes. Take that to the bank. I have an A-push test on Monday. My condolences to you. Do I collect any sports cards? I don't. I have a few lying around, like old Packer cards, but no, not actively. Not actively. Brissett is a Super Bowl winner, though. Yeah. Again, I don't think Jacoby Brissett's going to do terrible, but I think it's going to take him some time to get adjusted. Let's see. Transcontinental. I know exactly who you are. Luke. It's Kai. I'm sorry. I did it again. My bad, Kai. My bad. I got David Johnson 3rd round. That's great value for freaking David Johnson. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you know, you have guys who picked Antonio Brown in the 1st round because they were like, ooh, and that didn't go out too well. What's going on, Lynx? How are you? Will the Bears extend Mitch next year? That's a great question. It's a great question. I think it depends on what he does this year. We'll see. Are the Packers winning the division? I hope so. What do I think about David Bakhtiari? He's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback. Listen, that one drive was amazing, and I was like, yes, that's the offense I want to see. But Rodgers, regardless of the Packers' defense, regardless of the holding penalties, you know, Rodgers didn't look great last night. He really didn't, and it's okay that we say that. He did not look great. But again, it's also week 1, and I'm not, you know, jumping overboard and being like, oh my God, he's terrible. But there's definitely room for improvement. And he said that, do not take that from me. He said that. And Matt LaFleur said he needed to be better for him. So Matt LaFleur came out and said that, you know, when we got behind, basically he had to like go into the bag of tricks that were like all right, let's get something started, and getting away from his original his plan. So, you know, I think we'll see a more slightly, hopefully, more polished team against the Vikings next week. So, when will I get press credentials? I don't know. Ask the Packers. So, we'll see. How do I think the Ravens will do this year? I'm curious because if Lamar Jackson has been able to improve, especially with his becoming, I know he's a scrambling quarterback, but developing as also a pocket passer, I think they'll do okay. I know their defense has lost a few guys, so I don't think their defense will be as good as it was last year, but I think they will still definitely be solid. I think the offense, by the way, for the Packers will get better, yes. Mike Whitwood, $2 Nation says, hey, Tom, I think Z Smith is my favorite Packer now. It's a great pick. It's a great pick. I love everything about him. Like, literally, everything that he is doing right now, I am a fan of. The way he carries himself, the way he represents the team, I am all about it. Do you think we replaced Lane Taylor with Jenkins? Taylor kind of got pushed around last night. Yeah, he did. Again, we're going against a very good Bears defensive line. I think by like week 5, you know, obviously we're playing the Vikings next week. If by week 5 Taylor's still getting bullied, I think LaFleur will do what is necessary to make sure we have the best players on the field. How many flags were there last night? I think there was like 18. I'm pretty sure there was like 18 flags between both teams, and we had a lot. It was a lot. So my friend picked Devontae Adams in the first round. It's a good pick, just because he had a bad night. Listen, if you played Aaron Jones last night, I told you not to. I flat out told you not to. I wasn't expecting. I didn't play, I don't think, like any Packers starters because, they're playing a really damn good defense. Road to Dawn, 499 donation says, would the Eagles still have won the Super Bowl with Carson Wentz? Ooh, great question. That's a great question. Well, before he got hurt, he was having an MVP season. He really was on fire. A part of me wants to say yes. Obviously, coming back from injury last year, he did not look the same. But I feel like a part of me, Nick Foles was the guy to get it done. And the reason I say that is not just obviously because of what happened, but if you were opposing defenses, you then had to shift your gameplay to Nick Foles, who did not have the biggest amount of tape because he didn't really play at all that season. I would say that teams underestimated the Eagles. I know I sure as hell did when they made the Super Bowl run, because once Carson Wentz got hurt, I was like, well, they're done now, and they won a Super Bowl. So I think paired with the fact that they had a good Eagles team around Nick Foles, and on top of that, you have defenses coming in not preparing for MVP like Wentz, but for backup Nick Foles. They underestimated his prowess and his throwing ability. I think that led to the perfect storm of them being able to get it done and win a Super Bowl. So I say Nick Foles is the only guy who would have got it done that year. Brandon Mickle, $2 Nation, is it weird not seeing McCarthy on the sideline? A little bit. I still am getting used to it that I see Matt LaFleur on there. Because every time I'm like, oh, it's Mike Mudd. No, it's Matt LaFleur. Yeah, it's still a little weird, though. Definitely still a little weird. Zeno Sayer, $2 Nation, said Seeds. All right, what do we got? First Saints, second Cowboys, third Packers, fourth Rams. All right. Second Cowboys, huh? All right. Got a lot of faith in them Cowboys. All right. I'm down with it. I think, again, it's going to depend on what the Eagles do with Carson Wentz. So, you decided which of the two jerseys will burn when we beat the Vikings next week? Yes, absolutely. Is MVS going to be good? I believe so. Yes. Packers need to play Jamal Williams only on passing downs. Again, I think we got away from our game plan very, very early. You're going to see a lot more of Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones mixed in with some Dexter Williams. I think you're going to see some innovative and unique play calling. Do I think the offense will improve? Absolutely. How about the fantastic stop Rashawn Gary got by swimming the center and getting the backfield? Yeah, like I said, Rashawn Gary had a good night. Not really a great preseason, but had a good night. He did he did a little bit more than I expected him to, so I'm happy with it. Ashton Miller, $1.99, is Kirk overrated? 30 touchdowns, 10 interception, 100 QB rating? Yes. Yes. Well, when you say overrated, are you talking about from the fans' perspective or $84 million? I don't think Kirk Cousins is worth $84 million. I think that's what the market dictated because there was such a lack of QBs at the time. There was such a shortage that the Vikings had to pay out the ass to get him. But I do not think Kirk Cousins is worth $84 million. So I think he's a steady quarterback and a solid quarterback, yes. But I don't think he's worth $84 million. I think, again, he can win games, obviously, but not $84 million. But then again, his offensive line didn't help. Zeno's saying $2 Nation, he says, why'd you stop doing bedtime stories? Bedtime stories will return. Don't you worry. We will do that. Bedtime stories usually happens like around, we did the first bedtime story in February, right before the Super Bowl. So don't you worry. That will return, as well as Coach. Holy crapaloli, Batman. Michael, with a $49.99 donation. Whoa. Being the Q&A king right now. Thank you, my good sir. Very appreciated, as I am so slap happy. Tom, what are you happiest about and most worried concerning the Packers tonight? Great question. Okay, the happiest that I am about is the fact that we have it. I still can't, it sounds dirty saying that we have a defense. It does. But the way that I'm looking at it is this is the worst our defense is going to be this year. And I am freaking ecstatic about it. Because holy crap, did they look freaking good. That is what I'm happiest about. The potential for the Packers defense to get freaking amazing this year. And I said it in the preseason, and I said it leading up to the preseason. There's potential this year that the defense overshadows the offense. And it makes sense considering Mike Pettine's second year, a lot of draft revenue, a lot of free agent money has been spent on that side of the ball. Obviously, you still have Aaron Rodgers, but don't be surprised if each week a lot of the stories coming out against the Packers are about the production of that defense. So that's what I'm happiest about. What am I most worried about, besides obviously like injuries? I am slightly concerned that, it's not a big concern, but I am slightly concerned about Rodgers kind of getting in the flow of things. Because, again, it's a new offensive scheme, new head coach, didn't look great last night, but I'm also putting a cap on my worries because it is only week 1. So I think overall, I'm excited to see what Rodgers can do with that offense. Again, that one drive was a work of art. If he's able to repeat that week in and week out, and not just one drive, but multiple drives, watch out. But that would be my biggest concern right now is, I don't know what this offense is. They didn't look great last night, but they did enough to win because of our defense. I don't know if we can rely on that every single week. That would be my biggest concern. And again, thank you for the donation, and thank you for the question, bud. Appreciate it very much. And by the way, I loved Darnell Savage. Savage was savage. Absolutely. Chance the Cardinals pull off an upset? Yeah, I think it's possible because we don't know what we have with Kyler Murray. Cliff Kingsbury, David Johnson, absolutely. They got some. They definitely got some talent on the team. So, yeah, Savage is a monster. I can't wait. Do I think Tramon Williams went too far with his comments on Mitch T? As a Packers fan, I don't feel he should give anyone bulletin board material to use against us. Castor Troy, I'm glad you brought this up. I've seen this Tramon Williams quote everywhere, basically saying if we made Mitch Trubisky play QB, we were going to win. First of all, that's a shortened version of the quote. The full quote in context is basically forcing him to be a pocket passer. We would be able to beat him. So there was nothing inflammatory about this. Tramon Williams came out today and clarified that this wasn't a roast against Trubisky. They wanted him to play a certain way so they could basically game plan for him and just have to worry about that. Not handing off the ball or scrambling like he does have the ability to do. So it's not a knock on Trubisky at all. So I highly recommend fully reading the quote, but lots of media literally just took that one little snippet and ran with it. We did a whole video on what's wrong with the NFL media, and this is another thing. Again, it's just looking for clickbait for people to get all in a tizzy about. So, no, Tramon Williams is just fine, even though he had 2 really bad penalties last night. Ashton Miller, $1.99 says, is Tramon Williams a liability targeted 12 times? Yes. Tramon Williams, as I said when we signed him, he's the second time, obviously. He's a Band-Aid. He is a Band-Aid. We need to get something permanent over there. But right now, at this moment, he's the best that we have. He's an older guy. He's an older veteran. I like Tramon Williams, what he brings to the team. But yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if Tramon Williams gets a lot of targets every week because, he's kind of the weak link right now. So, again, I'm not going to be super surprised. But right now, he's the best we got. So, good and bad with that. Did I hear about Julio Jones? He might hold out. That would be pretty bad for the Vikings, the Falcons, but I can understand it. Kai, see you later, man. Appreciate it. Who's my Super Bowl pick? Again, I'm not changing it right now, but I feel like you still got the Saints and the Patriots or the Saints and the Chiefs. So both those teams should be really good. Yeah, there you go. Prime Wolf. Tramon Williams even said Trubisky is talented enough to play the position. Yeah, it's a non-story. Am I going to stream next week? Yeah, we're streaming every single Packers game. We're streaming every single Packers game. The only one we might not is the Giants if I go to it. So that's it. Amos' interception was a great moment for me. I can only imagine how it felt for him. Yes, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely love it. So when do you think Holman plays? Whenever he's healthy. That's when he's going to play. That's really what it's going to come down to. So we shall see. We shall see. But with that, I think this already went long. Yeah, oh wow, we went 40 minutes. I was expecting, this is going to be a 20-minute thing. But friggin' 300 of you beautiful people just came in on a whim, and I didn't even really advertise this, but I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everyone who showed out to the stream last night. You were incredible. I was going to put out a video today. It was going to be a little bit of a funny video about, there was a comment that got a lot of attention, I think it was last week, the top 5 sexiest QB and head coach tandems. I didn't get to finish it the way that I wanted it to, so instead I'll release it on Monday, and that'll be a little good video to start your week. But I'm definitely going to be taking the day off tomorrow. I need it. I'm brutally exhausted. So we'll see on Sunday if I do any streaming. I'm going to lean towards no, but we'll be back next week with 5 episodes a week, and then obviously streaming a week from Sunday. But guys, thank you so much. I love you all so much. So much. I hope Amos got Trubisky to sign that ball. I love it. I absolutely love it. Nick, the football guy with a $2 donation. See you at the next one. Absolutely, guys. Appreciate it. Hybrid with a $5 donation says, all right, we'll do this one last question, because you know I can't leave if someone donated and asked a question. Are you concerned about the O-line Aaron Jones running game, or should this game be taken in the context of Bears D good? Both. I think the Bears defense is really good, and I didn't think Aaron Jones was going to have a good night regardless, but the running game does need to get better. I think we fell behind. We didn't play the kind of game that we wanted to. And so because of that, Jones did not have the night that he wanted to, in addition with the Bears defense is really good. So I think we'll be fine with the running game. Matt LaFleur is very good at utilizing those rushers. So I think we're going to be just fine. And we're going to put the guys on the offensive line that have the best chance to succeed and help the team. So I think we're going to be just fine. Daniel, appreciate it. Guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon. I'll see you probably on Monday. So have a phenomenal weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy football on Sunday. And you know we can just chill there because we got a Packers win under our belt. And it's a beautiful thing. So you keep telling everyone until Sunday, those noon games, those 1 o'clock games, that the Green Bay Packers are the number 1 seed right now in the NFL. And don't you forget it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go. Victory!